Every Arsenal fan can recognise the need for Arsenal to sign another winger or wide option. Based on the screenshot and media reports, Mikel Arteta himself knows among other positions a winger wouldn't go amiss. Could Johan Bakayoko be the one? He's left-footed like Saka. He's a 1v1 demon like Bukayo Saka. He's on the right age of 20 like Bukayo Saka, although he's very different from the current Arsenal right winger, even though he plays in the same position, and our number 7. Johan Bakayoko, obviously, he started off in Belgium. He found his way into Dutch football and he's currently at PSV, where he's making a rapid development and is considered one of the brightest young talents in world football currently. And in my opinion, he has a bright future ahead of him. Currently, to date, he has showcased his current potential as a dynamic attacking player. As I just stated a few moments ago, he bounced around at a couple of clubs in Belgium before somehow ending up in Holland and playing for PSV. Since making his debut in 2022 for PSV, he has begun to make rapid progress, resulting in him having, I believe, 10 Belgium caps to his name and probably going to star in some capacity in the upcoming Euros. Given his skill set and potential, it's only natural that Johan has attracted interest from top European clubs. He's been linked with everybody, in my opinion, and Liverpool in particular. If you was to say what is he's known for his pace, his dribbling ability, and he's now developing that goal scoring prowess. He's attracted attention because of these very performances, and he's currently now demonstrating a knack for scoring goals, creating chances, and making the difference for his football club and ultimately teammates. He's a young emerging talent. He's got that showmanness trait. He's got rapid pace. He's a bit of a throwback winger in that he wants to take his man on, and he's a nightmare for a fullback. He looks to quite simply put murder his fullback. The 2022-23 season saw him score 12 goals in the Dutch top flight or Eredivisie, 14 goals in all comps, and he had 9 assists in the Eredivisie and 14 in all comps. So he's had a hand in 28 goals, people, this season, which is his first standout campaign in that regards. Let's not forget, Arsenal fans, what he did in the Champions League group stages to Kyrior and showcased his talent in what was a dead rubber game. When I think of Johan, I think of pace, dribbling, and showmanship. They have to be his standout attributes, in my opinion. He's exceptionally quick. He can beat his man paws, and he's a danger in 1v1 situations. His dribbling skills are also very impressive. He's a constant threat in wide areas. He possesses excellent technical skills. He's got good close control, quick feet, and has an ability to maneuver away from defenders in tight spaces. Although I do think that is an aspect which can improve, specifically in tight mid and low blocks. He can deliver accurate crosses, although they can be improved at, but his crossing is quite good. He does like to make incisive passes, although that could be a bit more consistent, and ultimately create goal scoring opportunities for others. He's agile. He has a lot of speed. What's there not to like? Is this not a winger you want to see? He's got great ball manipulation skills and changes direction rapidly in attacking 1v1s. He's very quick to turn, and you just don't know what he's doing. He's quite similar to Manchester City's recent recruit, Jeremy Doku, both in terms of rawness that needs to be molded and crafted, and in terms of how they play. As I said earlier, in a day and age where there's not too many wingers that want to take their players on or are like traditional wingers, I believe he would be that. And also, I think he's got the physicality to be in the Premier League or in the top 5 division, obviously with the greatest of respect to the Dutch league, which technically is very muscular, strong build, can hold off defenders, sometimes gets the defenders get the better of him, but in terms of going shoulder to shoulder with him, he can more than hold his own and displays good strength in physical duels. He's also very quick over long distances, people. He's got a decent burst on him. Sometimes I do believe, he could add more variety in his game, and he can be a bit predictable. And sometimes if the game isn't fairly open or if there's not a lot of space, he can be to a degree ineffective. But every player's got their pros and cons, right? Again, he's very good at changing direction. He's capable of gliding past his opponent due to good footwork and balance. He's a very good active passer. He does try to add variety into his game, although this could improve. He does press very well, which has to be the most exciting thing Mikel Arteta and his system would like from Bakayoko. He looks to force mistakes high up the field from defenders. And while I think he can improve defensively, he shows a positive attitude to going backwards and defending, if I'm completely honest with you. As I said, his short passing could improve and be a bit more consistent. I do think he's a very high volume dribbler, but can be a tiny bit inconsistent in that regards. And when there are defenders that can hold their own in terms of pace, like a Kyle Walker, or strength, like a Reece James, he's in trouble. But again, at 21 years of age, he's not going to be the finished article. And what players don't have different strengths and weaknesses according to the game state? I believe while he can be molded there's a lot of rough diamond parts, there's a lot of rough edges, apologies, that need to be polished in this diamond. I believe he's a fairly decent all-rounder. In essence, I think, he can do everything you require from a winger, both in the modern sense and more so in the traditional sense. If you're a traditionalist, he would, he'll get chalk on his boots, put crosses in. If you're one of the modern games, I do think he can dribble inside and, provoke goal-scoring actions. He's got a wand of a left foot. Although I do believe he can improve in terms of central region. And at Arsenal, as much as Saka's a winger, he's promoted to go inside. In fact, in the modern day, we live in a day and age of inside forwards. The traditional wingers, if they are out there, they don't necessarily carry a strong catalogue of goals and assists. You kind of have to be in that half space with the byline, and obviously just, inside of the pitch. That's what the game is all about, if I'm honest. I do think his weaker foot naturally could improve. As I said earlier, his passing could be a bit better. He could improve in terms of consistency. And obviously, where you look at his statistics in terms of the goal scoring that I mentioned earlier, this appears to be, for me anyways, his first significant kind of season. So is this an element to his game he's added? Is it a purple patch? I'm not too sure, people. But there's a lot to like about him. His consistency in terms of output has to keep rising. But when you've got 17 goals and 14 assists in 59 appearances for PSV in the league, in all comps, he's got 21 goals and 19 assists. While this isn't eye-catching, this shows that he can improve in that regards. He's got 85 total appearances for PSV. He's obviously won a cup there and a Premier League title. A man said Premier League, apologies, an Eredivisie title, people, which shows there's transferable skills there and shows that above everything, he'll in his own way introduce a willing mentality into this football club, people. I think his crossing is very good, but again, in terms of fighting Manchester City or playing for a top team, it can improve. You need to chase a sense of, if you're an attacking player, literally 9 out of 10 goal scoring opportunities or options in the final third, you need to have positive actions in 9 of those. I believe he's more close to the 6s and 7s, so the decision making needs to improve. But again, he's 21 years of age. There's a lot of transferable skills. There's a solid foundation and education with what he's done in Belgium and making a name for himself at PSV, being a Belgium international, being a league winner. There's a lot of transferable skills that he could add, and I think he's got everything, in my opinion, to thrive in the Premier League. In terms of adding variety, as mentioned earlier in the theme of fine-tuning, I think he shows a willingness to go into central areas, but I think he's kind of useless in that regards, and he doesn't tend to drift into central positions. So Mikel Arteta, if we signed him, or any manager, would have to work on that. He prefers to keep the width and tries to stretch up opposition's defenses with his pace and his ability with a ball at his feet. Saka does that, but as you can see, there's variety in Saka's game. So Arteta would probably demand that of him. Although if you look at Martinelli, well, I wouldn't say Martinelli's always on the touchline. If you look at Saka versus Martinelli, it feels that Martinelli is more stationary. He's more told to kind of hug the touchline versus obviously Bukayo Saka on the right. I think he'd be a perfect complement for the side. I think he would carry resale value. I think he's a player that can improve. I think ultimately he would make us a lot stronger in terms of our attacking options. I'm not too sure what PSV would want, because there's been a lot of interest. And when you go online and look at rumours, apparently they've rejected 60 odd million euros. He has a contract until 2026. So within the next year to 18 months, PSV are going to have to decide, does he want a new deal? You'd imagine Bakayoko is probably knowing that I want to kind of leave the Eredivisie and spread my wings and try myself either in France, in England, in Italy or Spain or whatever have you. They'll make a lot of money on him if and when the time comes. But for me, I think there's a lot of raw potential in him. He would need a lot of work, and I urge caution. He would need a lot of work to make him that top quality player. Do I think he'll ever be a world-class player? No, there's very few players that will be there, but I think he could be a top player. And you know, for me, he's someone that Arsenal could do with. And I'd imagine Arsenal scouted him because we're linked with a lot of players in Holland already. And he gave a great addition of himself when he absolutely brutalized Kirill, not to get at Kirill. So, yeah, I just wanted to talk about him quickly. And I'm sure you lot have your own opinions. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. We're rapidly closing in on 60K subscribers, people. We'd be filling up the Emirates. On that note, comment, like, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. I'm off to edit another video for you guys as I'm putting in the shift for you lot. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Most importantly, stay blessed, stay safe. Peace.